Good day everyone. Today I will be discussing about one of the biggest problems of the world, which is the climate change. So what is climate change? Climate change refers to the long-term irreversible and changes that occurs in the Earth's climate. This increase in the temperature of the atmosphere has major effects on the environment, such as the seasons, rising of the sea levels, the glacial retreats. The biodiversity of organisms is affected regarding their population, distribution, level of ecosystem, and even the individual's morphology and function. Because of the increase in temperature, organisms have already adapted by expanding their ranges and latitudes. Because of this behavior, many species population have declined. For humans, the rapidly increasing rate in climate change imposes great threats for human security, as the natural resources are becoming more and more limited. At present, global warming and climate change already have irreversible impacts on biodiversity, and the effects, if not mitigated, can lead to more significant threats in the future. Here are another causes and effects of climate change. For causes, we have rapid industrialization, energy use, agricultural practices, deforestation, consumer practices, livestock, transportation, resource extraction, pollution, and the effects: rising temperature, rising sea levels, unpredictable weather patterns, increase in extreme weather events, land degradation, loss of wildlife and biodiversity. The social impacts of climate change. First, we have displaced people. Next is poverty, loss of livelihood, hunger, malnutrition, increased risk of diseases, global food and water shortage. Our temperature over time are changing weather patterns and disrupting the usual balance of nature. This poses many risks to human beings and all other forms of human life on Earth. So climate change would affect living organisms and also people in a way that we would experience different weather that would make us sometimes feel sick and diseases because of the sudden change of weather. It is important that we address this kind of problem because we were not the only one affected but also the living organisms in the world. As a human being, we should know the importance of knowing what is good for the nature. In conducting such action to prevent climate change would help people know what is the cause of climate change and how did it affect the sudden change in the weather and how can it affect us. This kind of activity would help preserve organisms' life for the next generation. Here are the 10 things you can do to prevent or stop climate change. First, change a light. Replacing one regular light bulb with a compact fluorescent light bulb will save 150 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Next is drive less. Walk, bike, carpool or take mass transit more often. You'll save 1 pound of carbon dioxide for every mile you don't drive. Next is recycle more. You can save 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide per year by recycling just half of your household waste. Next is use less hot water. It takes a lot of energy to heat water. Use less hot water by taking shorter and colder showers and washing your clothes in cold and warm instead of hot water. Next is avoid products with a lot of packaging. You can save 1,200 pounds of carbon dioxide if you reduce garbage by 10%. Next is adjust your thermostat. Moving your thermostat down just 2 degrees in winter and up to 2 degrees in summer could save about 2,000 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Next is plant a tree. A single tree will absorb 1 ton of carbon dioxide over its lifespan. Next is turn off electronic devices. Simply turning off your television, DVD player, stereo, and computer when you are not using them will save you thousands of pounds of carbon dioxide a year. So why should climate change be addressed? Should be addressed because a warmer climate increases public health challenges like heat-aggravated illness, increases in vector-borne diseases, and decreased access to safe water and food. Cutting short-lived climate pollutants can slow the rate of warming and lower public health risk. So climate change won't disappear. We release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere by burning fossil fuels for energy, farming, and destroying forests. These carbon emissions are causing the greenhouse effect, trapping heat and making the earth warmer faster than could happen naturally. Climate change is a very big problem that we should prevent to happen. Proposals like helping climate change should be conducted in every area of the world to stop climate change. The importance of my proposal it is help the world to stop climate change, and it should also help people to know how climate change can make our life burden. Making this activity would also educate people to stop using things that could cause climate change because this affect our health and especially the living organisms in the earth, and it would affect their lifespan. These are problems that are caused by climate change such as more frequent and intense drought, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans can directly harm animals, destroy the places they live, and wreak havoc on people's livelihoods and communities. As climate change worsens, dangerous weather events are becoming more frequent or severe. That is why climate change should be stopped immediately. If climate change will not be stopped, all of us will suffer. So it is very important to stop this problem so we can live in a world without having problem. If it could not be stopped, we could acquire diseases because of the sudden change of weather. That is why people should be aware on how important climate change and preserving organisms and nature for the next generation. Humans have caused major climate change to happen already, and we have set in motion more changes still. However, if we stop emitting greenhouse gases today, the rise in global temperatures would begin to flatten within a few years. Temperature would then remain well elevated for many centuries. There is a time lag between what we do and when we feel it, but that lag is less than a decade. While the effects of human activities on Earth's climate to date are irreversible on the timescale of humans alive today, every little bit of avoided future temperature increases results in in less warming that would otherwise persist for essentially forever. The benefits of reduced greenhouse gas emissions occur in the same time scale as the political decisions that lead those reductions. Climate change is the defining issue of our time, and we are at the defining moment. From shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, the impacts of climate change are global in scope and unlimited in scale. Climate change can be stopped if we all help each other by doing small things, can be big if we all work together. That is why this issue should be addressed not just by the government but also all people should. Because if no one does, we all suffer and the consequences of our action. If we have unity, nothing can stop us do things that can make our life better. Climate change is one of the world's biggest problems. It should be solved by the world's people unite each other.